In the year 2050, the world was on the brink of collapse. A deadly virus had spread across the globe, turning people into mindless, flesh-eating zombies. The few remaining survivors with special animal-like properties were forced to band together and fight for their lives. One such group of survivors was led by a young boy named Wolfen. He had managed to find a small group of people who were immune to the virus, and together they had formed a tight-knit community. As they traveled through the desolate landscape, they came across a strange building. It was an old research facility, and it seemed to be emitting a strange signal. Wolfen and his group cautiously entered the building, their weapons at the ready. As they made their way deeper into the facility, they encountered all sorts of dangers. There were zombies everywhere, and they had to fight their way through hordes of them. But as they reached the heart of the facility, they found something that made their blood run cold. It was a large computer screen, and it was displaying a message in bright green letters. System, best scan incomplete. The message read, analyzing error origin. Systems shut down, power disconnected, 98% of base offline. Wolfen and his group exchanged nervous glances. What did this message mean? And what was the purpose of this facility? As they pondered these questions, they heard a strange noise coming from the depths of the facility. It sounded like the sound of machinery whirring to life. Suddenly, the lights flickered and the air was filled with the smell of ozone. The computer screen flickered back to life, and a new message appeared. System, vast damage, unavailable. It read, threat level, unavailable. Crisis origin, unavailable. Credentials, bypassed. Suspicious activity detection, unavailable. Wolfen and his group looked at each other in confusion. What was happening, and what did these messages mean?
As they tried to make sense of the situation, the facility began to shake and tremble. The lights flickered wildly, and the air was filled with the sound of machinery crashing to the ground. Wolfen and his group knew that they had to get out of there fast. They grabbed their weapons and made a run for the door. As they emerged into the bright sunlight, they saw that the facility was in ruins. The building was collapsing, and the ground was shaking beneath their feet. They knew that they had to keep moving. They had to find a safe place to hide, and they had to figure out what was going on. As they made their way through the desolate landscape, they encountered all sorts of dangers. There were zombies everywhere, and they had to fight their way through hordes of them. But they refused to give up. They knew that they had to keep fighting, no matter what. And so they continued on, their weapons at the ready. They were determined to survive, no matter what the cost. As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks turned into months, Wolfen and his group became more and more skilled at surviving in the new world. They learned how to scavenge for food and supplies, and they learned how to defend themselves against the zombies. But despite their progress, they couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. They knew that there was something out there, something that was waiting for them. And then, one day, they saw it. A massive horde of zombies stretching out as far as the eye could see. Wolfen and his group knew that they had to act fast. They gathered their weapons and prepared to face the horde. As the zombies closed in, Wolfen and his group stood their ground. They fought with all their might, but they knew that they couldn't hold out for much longer. Just when it seemed like all was lost, a strange noise echoed through the air. It was a low rumbling sound, like thunder in the distance. As the noise grew louder, the zombies began to stumble and fall. They were being affected by some kind of sonic wave, and they were unable to resist it. Wolfen and his group took advantage of the distraction. They launched a fierce counterattack, and they managed to drive the zombies back. As the dust settled, Wolfen and his group surveyed the aftermath of the battle. They had lost some good people, but they had managed to hold their ground. And as they looked out at the sea of zombies, they knew that they would have to keep fighting. They would have to keep surviving, no matter what the cost. For in a world gone mad, the only way to stay alive was to never give up.
As the dust settled, Wolfen and his group caught their breath. They had won the battle. But at what cost? The landscape was littered with the bodies of the fallen, and the survivors were weary. Where did that sonic wave come from? Asked Jake, Wolfen's second in command. Wolfen shook his head. I don't know, but we need to find out. They scoured the area, searching for any clues. That's when they saw it, a strange device embedded in the ground. This must be it, said Emily, the group's tech expert. It looks like some kind of advanced sonic technology. Wolfen's eyes lit up. Can you activate it again? Emily nodded. I think so. With the device reactivated, the group set out once more. They traveled through the desolate landscape, using the sonic wave to clear their path. As they walked, they stumbled upon an abandoned research facility. The sign above the door read Wolf Tech Bass. Wolfen's heart skipped a beat. This must be the source of the technology. Inside, they found logs from the researchers who had created the sonic device. The log spoke of a top-secret project, Project Bass. It was meant to be a solution to the zombie apocalypse, Emily whispered. Wolfen's eyes widened. But what happened? The researchers discovered something sinister, Jake read from the logs. Something that made them shut down the project. Suddenly, the lights flickered, and the computer screens sprang to life. Owner access obtained. The screens read. Wolfen heart raced. What does this mean? Emily's eyes locked onto the screen. I think we're about to find out. The screens began to display cryptic messages. System, vast damage, unavailable. Threat level, unavailable. Crisis origin, unavailable. Credentials, bypassed. Suspicious activity detection, unavailable. Wolfen felt a chill run down his spine. What's happening? Emily's voice trembled. I think we triggered something. The facility began to shake, and alarms blared to life. We need to get out. Now, Jake yelled. As they fled, the facility imploded behind them, sending debris flying everywhere. Wolfen and his group stumbled away, gasping for air. What just happened? Emily asked. Wolfen eyes locked onto the horizon. I think we uncovered something much bigger than we anticipated. The group fell silent, pondering the implications. As night fell, they settled around a campfire, weary but determined. We'll keep moving, Wolfen vowed. We'll uncover the truth behind Project Bass. And with that, they vanished into the darkness, ready to face whatever lay ahead.
As Wolfen and his group journeyed on, they stumbled upon an abandoned amusement park. The rickety roller coaster loomed above, its seats creaking ominously. I don't like this, Emily said, her voice trembling. Come on, Wolfen urged. We need to scavenge for supplies. As they explored, they discovered a hidden underground bunker beneath the park. Welcome to Wolf Tech Base's secret laboratory, Jake whispered, eyes scanning the room. Inside, they found bizarre experiments, zombie-human hybrids, sonic wave generators, and mind control devices. What were they doing here? Emily asked. Wolfen's eyes widened. They were trying to control the zombies. Suddenly, the lights flickered and the hybrids stirred. We need to get out now, Jake yelled. As they fled, the hybrids gave chase, their eyes glowing with an eerie blue light. Wolfen's group ran through the amusement park, dodging zombie hybrids and leaping over obstacles. They reached the park's main stage, where a massive speaker system loomed. Emily, can you activate the sonic wave? Sarah shouted. Emily frantically worked the controls. The speakers roared to life, blasting a piercing sonic wave that sent the hybrids stumbling. But then, something unexpected happened. The zombies began to dance. Their undead bodies moved in sync, performing a choreographed routine. Wolfen's group stared in awe. What's going on? Emily asked. Jake grinned. I think we just discovered the zombies' weakness, music. As they watched, mesmerized, the zombies continued their dance, oblivious to the survivors. Wolfen's group slipped away, unnoticed. That was insane, Emily whispered. Wolfen smiled. But we might have just found our secret weapon. As they vanished into the night, the sound of thumping music echoed through the abandoned park, accompanied by the undead dancers. But little did they know, a new threat lurked in the shadows, one that would change everything. A figure watched from the darkness, eyes fixed on Sarah. The Wolf Tech Bass project has just begun, the figure whispered, smiling sinisterly. And with that, the figure vanished
Into the night, leaving Wolfen's group to face an uncertain future. Wolfen's group continued their perilous journey, armed with the knowledge of the zombies' weakness. Music. They scavenged for musical instruments and equipment, creating makeshift speakers to blast sonic waves. As they traveled, they encountered more zombie hordes, but this time, they were prepared. With the press of a button, thumping music filled the air, and the undead danced. Their bizarre strategy worked, clearing paths through infected zones. But risks lingered, battery life was limited, and they needed sustainable power. Emily, can you hack into the city's energy grid? Sarah asked. Emily nodded. I'll try. After tense moments, Emily succeeded, restoring power to key areas. The group settled in an abandoned radio station, broadcasting music citywide. Zombies shuffled and spun, entranced by the beats. Sarah smiled. We've got this. Just then, a mysterious broadcast interrupted their signal. Survivors, we have a cure, a voice announced. Meet us at Wolf Tech Bass headquarters. Wolfen exchanged skeptical glances. Could it be true? Emily asked. Jake frowned. Or is it a trap? Wolfen's heart pounded. We have to try. With newfound hope, they set off toward Wolf Tech Bass headquarters. As they approached, the building's lights flickered. A figure emerged from the shadows. Welcome, the figure said. I've been waiting. Wolfen's heart skipped a beat. Who are you? She demanded. The figure smiled. I'm Dr. Bass, creator of Project Bass. Wolfen's eyes narrowed. What's the cure? She pressed. Dr. Bass held up a vial. Z17, the antidote. Wolfen's group exchanged cautious glances. Was this salvation or deception? Their decision would change everything.
Wolfen's eyes narrowed, sizing up Dr. Bass. Prove it, Wolfen demanded, hand on his gun. Dr. Bass smiled, unfazed. Z17 rewrites the zombie virus's DNA, restoring human cognition. Wolfen's grip tightened. How many doses? Enough for the remaining survivors. Wolfen exchanged skeptical glances with Jake. What's the catch? Jake asked. Dr. Bass leaned in. One condition, you must protect me. Wolfen raised an eyebrow. From a rogue faction seeking Z17 for sinister purposes. Wolfen's jaw clenched. We're in. Dr. Bass handed Wolfen the vial. Z17's stability depends on sonic waves. Wolfen nodded. We've got the music. As they left, Wolfen felt a strange connection to Dr. Bass's words. Project Bass wasn't just a cure, it was a rebirth. Wolfen's heart pounded. Into what? Their escape was interrupted by gunfire. The rogue faction emerged, armed and deadly. Protect Dr. Bass, Wolfen yelled. In the chaos, Wolfen fought off attackers. Dr. Bass disappeared. No, Wolfen shouted. Jake grabbed his arm. We have Z17. Wolfen's eyes locked onto the vial. The cure's secure, but at what cost? Dr. Bass was gone. Wolfen vowed, I'll find him. The journey continued. With Z17 and music, Wolfen led the charge. Against zombies and rogue humans. In a world...
Wolfen's eyes gleamed in the moonlight as he prowled the ruins. Jake approached cautiously. Wolfen, what's going on? Wolfen's voice was low, husky. I sense something. Suddenly, his body began to shift. Muscles elongated, senses heightened. First sprouted. Jake stumbled back. Wolfen, the werewolf stood tall, eyes burning yellow. Jake's shock faded. Wolfen, is that you? The werewolf nodded. I was adopted by humans. Wolfen explained, voice strained. They hid my true nature. Jake's eyes widened. Your name? Wolfen smiled wistfully. My parents knew. As the full moon rose, Wolfen's transformation complete. Jake grasped the implications. You're immune to the zombie virus. Wolfen nodded, and I can sense Dr. Bass. Together, they set out, Wolfen's werewolf senses guiding them through treacherous landscapes toward Dr. Bass and Z17's secrets. Their bond strengthened, human and werewolf, united against the apocalypse. But the rogue faction closed in. Wolfen, we have a problem, Jake warned. Wolfen's growl echoed. Let's take them down. With supernatural strength, Wolfen clashed with the faction. Jake provided cover fire, their synergy flawless. Victory within grasp. A figure emerged. Dr. Bass. Wait. He shouted. The rogue faction. They're not the enemy. Wolfen's ears perked. What do you mean? Dr. Bass smiled. They're protecting the cure from those who'd misuse it. Wolfen's eyes narrowed. Who? Dr. Bass's voice dropped. The true enemy is among us.
Wolfen's eyes locked onto the rogue faction's leader. Explain. Wolfen growled. The leader stepped forward. We're the resistance. We protect Z17 from those exploiting its power. Dr. Bass nodded. Join forces. Together, we can restore humanity. The factions merged, united against the true threat. As they strategized, a pink-clad figure emerged. Werewolf-like features, fierce determination. Wolfiy. She introduced herself. Wolfen's heart skipped a beat. Similarities were uncanny. Together, they charged into battle. Wolfiy's skills matched Wolfen's symphony of claws and gunfire. Victory within grasp. Post-battle, Wolfen approached Wolfiy. You're like me, Wolfen said, voice barely above a whisper. Wolfiy smiled. Born with the curse or blessing. Wolfen chuckled, still figuring that out. Wolfiy's eyes sparkled. Maybe together. As sunset painted the horizon, Wolfen and Wolfiy strolled, sharing stories, discovering common ground, bond forming. You're not alone, Wolfen, Wolfiy whispered. Wolfen's heart swelled. Neither are you, Wolfiy. Hands touched. Electric connection. New alliance forged. Humanity's future brightened. Wolfen and Wolfiy stood united against darkness. For love. For hope.
Wolfen and Wolfiy strolled through the ruined city, hands still touching. Wolfiy, how did you become like me? Wolfen asked. Wolfiy's gaze turned inward. I was bitten by a mutated wolf, infected with the zombie virus. Wolfen's eyes widened. That's impossible. The virus rewrites DNA. Wolfiy smiled mischievously. Mutated wolves possess ancient DNA, resistant to the virus. Wolfen's mind reeled. That means you're connected to the source. Wolfiy nodded. I am. As they walked, Dr. Bass approached. Wolfiy, he said. Your bond is crucial. How? Wolfen asked. Dr. Bass's eyes sparkled. You do hold keys to understanding, Project Bass. Wolfiy leaned in. Explain. Dr. Bass took a deep breath. Project Bass aimed to harness ancient DNA's power. Wolfen's eyes narrowed. What ancient DNA? Dr. Bass hesitated. The Lupercal strain. Wolfiy gasped. My ancestors. Dr. Bass nodded. Yes, Lupercal wolves carried unique genes. Wolfen's grip on Wolfiy's hand tightened. Genes resistant to the zombie virus. Dr. Bass smiled. Genes holding humanity's future. Wolfiy's voice dropped. We're more than just werewolves. Wolfen's eyes locked onto hers. We're guardians. Together, they vowed to protect humanity, to unravel Project Bass's secrets. Their bond grew stronger. As sunset faded, in the shadows, whispers echoed. Lupercal's legacy awakens. The pack rises, and Wolfiy stood ready. Wolfen and Wolfiy delved deeper into the mysteries of Project Bass. Dr. Bass led them to an underground bunker. Welcome to the Lupercal lab, he said. Ancient artifacts lined the walls. Wolfiy's eyes widened. These are my people's relics. Wolfen examined the symbols. This is our history. Dr. Bass handed them each a file. Your ancestry, he explained. Wolfen's file revealed his adoption. Wolfiy's revealed her true lineage. Lupercal's last heir, she whispered. Together, they uncovered their family's sacrifices, their destinies intertwined. A hidden door swung open, revealing a massive chamber filled with Lupercal wolves. The pack. Wolfiy breathed. Wolfen's heart swelled. Our family. As they approached, the wolves parted, revealing an ancient statue. Lupercal symbol etched. Wolfen and Wolfiy touched. The statue. Energy surged. Visions flooded. Their ancestors' struggles. Their love. Their sacrifice. The zombie apocalypse. Project Bass. The truth. Wolfen and Wolfiy stumbled back, eyes locked. Understanding dawned. Our bond, Wolfen whispered. Wolfiy nodded. Meant to be. Their love ignited. Amidst ruin, hope revived. The pack howled. In celebration, as Wolfen and Wolfiy sealed their fate. Together, forever. But shadows watched, patiently waiting for the pack's downfall.
Wolfen and Wolfiy's love blossomed. Their bond strengthened the pack. Dr. Bass smiled. Your union is crucial for humanity's future, Wolfen added. Wolfiy nodded. Together, we'll rebuild. As sunset painted the horizon, a lone figure emerged, caped in shadows, eyes glowing. The Alpha, Wolfiy whispered. Thought to be myth, Dr. Bass breathed. The Alpha approached. Time for truth, it growled. Project Bass's true purpose. Wolfen demanded. Rebirth, the Alpha replied. Using Lupercal DNA to create super soldiers, Wolfiy gasped. The Alpha nodded. Humanity's last hope. But at what cost? Wolfen asked. The Alpha's gaze turned cold. Your love. Wolfen and Wolfiy exchanged vows. We won't surrender. The Alpha smiled. Then let's begin. Darkness descended. The pack prepared for war against humanity's destroyers. Wolfen and Wolfiy stood strong, united, unbreakable. Their love would save humanity or die trying. But amidst shadows, a traitor lurked, awaiting the perfect strike to shatter the pack's hope.
The Alpha's plan unfolded. Wolfen and Wolfiy led the pack against rogue humans, fighting for survival. Dr. Bass provided strategy, key to victory. But amidst chaos, a familiar face emerged. Jake, once trusted ally, now fueled by vengeance. You hid the truth. Jake snarled. Wolfen stood firm. We protected you. Jake's eyes blazed. You used me. Wolfiy stepped forward. Jake, stop. Too late. Jake struck. Wolfen fell. Wolfiy screamed. The pack rallied, defending their leader. But Jake vanished into shadows. Wolfen struggled to stand. Wolfiy's tears fell, healing. Dr. Bass whispered. Lupercal's power. Wolfen's eyes locked onto Wolfiy. My love. Strength surged. Wolfen rose. The traitor will pay. Vengeance burned in Wolfen's heart. The pack howled, united, unstoppable. Their quest resumed, but darkness whispered. Jake's not alone. A mastermind lurked, pulling strings.
Wolfen's vengeance fueled the pack's relentless pursuit. Jake's trail led to abandoned warehouses. Darkness shrouded the streets. Suddenly, figures emerged, hooded, armed, and deadly. The Order of the Red Hand, Dr. Bass whispered. Ancient enemies of Lupercal. Wolfen snarled. Protect Wolfiy. The pack clashed with the Order. Fierce battle raged. Wolfiy fought bravely. Beside Wolfen, just as victory seemed near, a figure descended from shadows. Lord Arcturus, eyes blazing. Your destiny awaits, he declared. Wolfen stood tall. We won't yield. Lord Arcturus smiled. Z17's secrets will be mine. Dr. Base stepped forward. You'll never have them. Lord Arcturus's power surged. Dr. Base fell. Wolfiy screamed. Wolfen's rage exploded, transforming, unleashing Lupercal's fury. The battle intensified. Wolfen and Lord Arcturus clashed. Their powers locked. Fates hung in balance. Wolfiy joined the fight. Together, they pushed back. Lord Arcturus stumbled. The truth, Wolfen demanded. Project Base's true purpose. Lord Arcturus sneered. Rebirth of the damned. Wolfie's eyes widened. The cure's a curse. Horror dawned. Their love was key to unlocking Hell's Gate. Will Wolfen and Wolfiy escape Lord Arcturus's grasp or succumb to destiny?
Lord Arcturus revealed the shocking truth. Project Base harnesses Lupercal DNA. For immortality, Wolfiy whispered, and control, Wolfen growled. Lord Arcturus smiled. Z17 awakens ancient powers, turning humans into monsters, Dr. Base breathed. Wolfie's eyes widened. The cure's a curse. Wolfen snarled. We won't let you unleash hell. Lord Arcturus laughed. Too late. The Order's hooded figures closed in. Wolfen and Wolfiy fought valiantly, but outnumbered. Just as all seemed lost, the pack leader, Aurora, appeared. Moonlit Guardians. She commanded. The pack rallied, turning tide, defeating the Order. Lord Arcturus fled. Aurora approached Wolfen and Wolfiy. Well done, young ones. Your bond strengthens Lupercal's legacy. Wolfen bowed. We won't fail. Aurora's eyes gleamed. Once we're done, your power will be restored. Full power? Wolfiy asked. Aurora nodded. Lupercal's true potential. Wolfen's heart swelled. Our destiny awaits. Aurora vanished, leaving Wolfen and Wolfiy united, determined, ready for the final battle. Will they triumph or succumb to darkness?
Wolfen and Wolfiy prepared for the final showdown. Aurora reappeared. The time has come, she said. Lord Arcturus's stronghold awaits. Dr. Bass provided crucial intel. Disable the Z17 facility. Wolfen nodded. Pack, let's move. The moonlit guardians stormed. Lord Arcturus's fortress. Fierce battle raged. Wolfen faced Lord Arcturus. You'll never control Lupercal, Lord Arcturus sneered. Foolish mortals. Aurora intervened. Enough. Her powers surged. Lord Arcturus stumbled. Wolfen seized the chance. Delivering the decisive blow, Lord Arcturus fell. Z17 facility destroyed. The curse lifted. Humanity saved. Aurora approached Wolfen and Wolfiy. Your bond has restored balance. Time for your reward. Aurora placed her hands on their shoulders. Energy surged. Wolfen and Wolfiy felt their true power unleashed. Lupercal's legacy fulfilled. Their love shining bright in a new dawn. But shadows whispered, a new threat emerges. In distant lands, the pack's legacy continues. Wolfen and Wolfiy, now supremely powerful, stood before Aurora. Time to reclaim your lives, Aurora said, smiling. Together, they abandoned the pack's duties, seeking solitude in a quirky, colorful cottage. Far from Lupercal's legacy, they spent days binge-watching shifter soap operas, laughing at werewolf warrior wrestling, and playing full moon Fortnite. Wolfiy turned to Wolfen. Who'd have thought? Wolfen chuckled. From apocalypse to Netflix and chill, their laughter echoed as humanity rebuilt. Nearby, a peculiar mailman delivered packages. Package from Moonlit Madness, he exclaimed. Wolfiy opened it. Inside, a Lupercal-themed coffee mug. World's okayest werewolf, it read. Wolfen grinned. Perfect. Their quiet life unfolded, filled with silly antics. Wolfen accidentally turned into a werewolf during yoga. Wolfiy laughed. Downward-facing wolf. Together, they explored the absurdities of post-apocalyptic life and loved every minute. The end. Fade to black. The Wolfen and Wolfiy show coming soon to a streaming platform near you. Some additional funny references: Lupercal's laundry service, Werewolf Coffee Co., Full Moon Pizza Delivery, Shifter Self-Care Sundays. Next thing you know, they drifted to sleep. Morning sunlight peeked through. Wolfen turned to Wolfiy. Baby, our love story's wilder than Goku's hair, more epic than Thanos' snap, and crazier than Joker's grin. Wolfiy erupted into laughter. You're insane! Like Naruto's determination, our love conquers all, Wolfen declared. Wolfiy chuckled. You're a weirdo. Wolfen smiled. You're weirdo. He planted a gentle kiss on Wolfie's cheek. Well, part 2 is coming soon. Wolfie's eyes sparkled. Get ready, together, they exclaimed. Get ready for the Wolfen and Wolfiy adventures. Subscribe now. The screen fades to black with their signature howl the end. Wolfen and Wolfiy Adventuresian 2, coming soon. 2 episode totally worth it. Their iconic logo appears. Stay tuned.